Hi guys, it's Susan from Second Act. How are you? It is a beautiful day today on May 2nd, 2017 here in Saratoga, California. And I am coming at you for my week 31 update. I had my VSG surgery on September 27th, 2016 with Dr. Mark Zare in San Jose, California, Good Samaritan Hospital. My height weight was 240, my surgery date weight was 225, and my weight today was 179. So that's a flat line from last week. I was 179 last week. However, I am a daily weigher, and I was at 178 several of the days this week. So I was hoping that it would show up as 178 today, but I did have pot stickers for dinner last night with some soy sauce. So I'm thinking I might have a little bit of salt retention or water retention, whatever it is. I think that might be what caused it, because I certainly, didn't eat anything horrible aside from that. So yeah, hopefully I'll come at you with a loss next week. Um, but I think, as I mentioned last week, I'm still in the 170s, and that makes me happy. And I will continually be happy as long as I'm in the 170s. So today I was going to talk a little bit about some of the NSVs that I've had, because as fun as it is to see the scale numbers go down, really it's so interesting to me. I don't know why it's a surprise to me when I get an NSV that's clothes related. And as many of you know who have been following me from the start, I mean, using my clothes is really how I gauged my weight loss, because I wasn't losing anywhere near as fast as most of you do. So I had to go buy my clothes, because that is where I was seeing, my weight loss. So I am now fitting into pretty much all of the smallest size clothes that I've ever had as an adult hanging on to. So everything in my closet pretty much fits me now. I could certainly start wearing almost all of it. I'll be in the sizes that I have now for a little while, because, they're just now fitting me. But it's kind of exciting, because after this point, after I go through this batch of clothes, I'm going to have to go buy clothes, because I won't have anything smaller in my closet. I won't be able to shop in my closet anymore. So that was an NSV that I discovered this past week, and that was really exciting. So that was one NSV I had. Another NSV, I'll call it an NSV, was that I don't know if you watch Monica Sleeved After 60, and if you don't, you should be. She's amazing. But thank you, Monica, for the beautiful shout out that you gave me. It's so funny when you go through this process. My intention was to start making these videos really as, documenting this process for myself. And if anybody, hopped on board with me, that's great. And I use all of you guys as my inspiration too. But, it was just nice to know that you do inspire someone. So thank you, Monica, for that really beautiful, I really felt like it was a warm and sincere shout out. So I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. And then Finding Elizabeth has done a WLS challenge on who inspires you. Now, I've been really busy lately, and I have not had time to make extra videos or, participate in that, I'll say. I haven't even been watching the videos as much as I've wanted to, and I do apologize for that. I'm trying to squeeze in a few here and there when I can. But I liked that challenge that Finding Elizabeth put out there, because somebody who has inspired me from the start, and this is not a WLS person, but it's someone who, in a way, got me on this journey. And, even when I wasn't on this journey, has supported me through thick and thin, literally. And that's my husband. So I want to give my husband of 32 years a shout out, because He has been the most amazing, loving husband that one could have, because he has always loved me for who I am, not what I look like. And I always call him, I always tell him that he's like Shallow Hal, if you guys are familiar with that movie where Jack Black plays, the love interest of Gwyneth Paltrow. And it's just the cutest movie because, he does not see Gwyneth Paltrow for, the 400 pounds or whatever it is she weighs in the movie. He always sees her as this beautiful, thin person. And I feel like my husband has always been like that too, where he has always just loved me for me, has always told me, even when I was 240 pounds, weighing almost the same amount he does, and he's 6'5", so that's insane. But he's always told me how beautiful I am and, made me feel so loved. Um, a couple years back, he had said to me, asked me if I had ever thought about doing this surgery. And at that time, I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm not thinking about it. And he dropped it. He's very much in. He's a federal agent, so he's very much into working out and his health. And so he's always concerned about my health too, especially when I started getting the diabetes, the high cholesterol, the hypertension. So his concern was my health, truly, and I know that because I know he's loved me through thick and thin. So when he brought that up, I was not ready to hear about that at that time. And, so we dropped it. And then it wasn't until, and I don't know if I've told this story before actually, but one of the main reasons that that guided me in this direction was a serendipitous moment where I was going to my doctor, and I was for my diabetes checkup, and I was in her waiting room, and I just happened to pick up a health magazine that was sitting on her table, and I started flipping through it, and I came across an article about a woman who was, she was younger than I was, like maybe in her mid 30s. She had young kids, and she decided to have the VSG surgery so that she would be around for her kids, so that she could participate with her kids and, be involved and be around for a long time. And when I read the story, she had all the exact symptoms I did. She had the diabetes, she had the high cholesterol, she had the high blood pressure, and she talked about how she had the surgery and everything went away. And that's when the light bulb went off for me, because at that point I had been dealing with my diabetes for a while. And to be honest with you, when I was diagnosed with my diabetes, I actually thought that would scare me into losing the weight. And it didn't. And if anything, my numbers kept getting worse. And so that's why I call it a serendipitous moment, because I think it came to this point where I was at a realization that I wasn't losing this weight on my own. And I read this article, and this woman happened to have all the same symptoms, and they all went away. So I walked into my appointment with my doctor, and I said to her, hey, I read this article. What do you think? And I thought she was going to say no, because my doctor's very conservative. And it's one of the reasons I liked her, because she's not one of these doctors that readily puts you on pills or antibiotics. And that's why I've liked her. I've been going to her for probably 30 years or so. And she said, you are absolutely a prime candidate for this surgery. So I literally walked out of that meeting, just my regular diabetes appointment, with a recommendation for Dr. Mark Zare, and within a week I had an appointment with Dr. Mark Zare. So, what a gift that was. And at that point, I knew my husband would be thrilled that I was taking some action and doing something. So I kind of strayed a little bit, but my point being that my husband has always supported me. He continues to be my biggest supporter. You're going to laugh when I tell you, but like his comments to me now are, I've always loved you, but now I'm married to a Playboy bunny, Hello, this is how I show up to you guys every week. So I laugh at that. I'm sorry, but I do look a little better when I make myself up. But I just don't do it on a everyday basis if I'm just hanging out at home and going grocery shopping. But and I'm not saying I look like a Playboy bunny. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But I'm happy that I do in his eyes. I think that's sweet that he thinks that. So I'm so blessed to have him in my life, to have him support me. And, I just couldn't ask for anything more. So he is my number one inspiration, because he takes care of himself. He's always been into his health, and he's always supported me in anything I do. So a shout out to my wonderful husband, and I really thank him for all of his support. There are many people in the WLS community that I would love to get a shout out to as well. Finding Elizabeth is one of them. She was one of the first ones I started watching. And what I love about Elizabeth is that she's so real. I mean, first of all, not only has she lost 200 pounds, which is just insane. That is an insane amount of weight, and then maintained it for almost a 2 year period. That's incredible. And, Elizabeth, I know you get a little frustrated now from time to time because, you're not losing anymore right now, but, you try and you're there. And what I love is that you just come out and you're honest about it. You're honest about your struggles. You don't come out like you're some perfect person, and yet you are a huge, huge inspiration because of your actions and what you've done. And then to top that off, you lay it all out there. You lay the struggles out there, and I'm a huge believer in that. That it probably, I believe that the struggles get harder as you go along this journey because at some point it gets real. You've lost, let's just say the majority of the excess weight. And then as you start to get near that goal weight, it gets a little harder. And, you still have to keep at it. The surgery only helps you so far, I believe. And then at that point, you really have to kick in your skills and, what you learn along the way. And that's where Sleeved After 60 comes in as well, because Monica really comes in with, her really beautiful, soft aura that she has. And, really kind of talks about the eating disorder that we have. And, many of us maybe don't call it an eating disorder, but truly that's what it is. It really is. And so to listen to Monica talk about it and, how she's gone to therapy, for years now to overcome it and learn about it, we're very blessed to have her share that information with us and for her to share her knowledge. And even for us to be aware of that terminology and how it affects us or how it relates to us. So thank you, Monica, for that as well. And I can't even tell you how many other people there are out there. I truly could sit here all day, and talk about people, and there's even, some of the newer people. I don't know how new, actually, like losing it for me, 42, and how hard you work out. You're at the gym. Love your videos, and you're another one who has great information, so I love it. And there's just so many of you guys out there, and I'm sorry I can't, name everyone, and maybe I'll, pick it up again in another video. I don't want to ramble too long on this one. But thank you to all of you, because every single one of your stories, whether it's success, whether it's the struggles you have, whatever your story is, it helps somebody else. It helps us relate so that we know we're not out there alone, which is why I've always shared my slowness in this process because, I know everybody else is losing it a lot quicker, and I have been losing it quite slow, and that's okay. It's been okay for me. I don't mind losing it slow as long as I'm losing. As long as I keep on track and losing, there's nothing wrong. I've got nothing but time. So I'm fine with that. I'm not someone who puts a time clock on my weight loss. It's infinite for me because this is a lifestyle for me now. It's not a weight loss program that I'm trying to lose for, an event I'm going to like I used to do all the time. And then when you didn't meet that goal, you thought of yourself as a failure. No, that's not the case anymore. This is a lifestyle, and it's just a permanent thing that I'm doing from this point forward. So that brings me to another question that I basically have for the community. One of the things that I do as far as my eating habits goes, I'm a creature of habit now, because I know what is working for me. And in a sense, I'm almost afraid to go out of my little comfort zone and try new things. Like, for instance, the pot stickers that I had last night, that's not normally in my realm, but it just so happened that I had to pick up dinner last night, and that was the place that was closest, was a Japanese place, and so I picked that up, and I could have maybe tried something else, but I thought I'll have pot stickers tonight. But in general, I tend to eat what I know works for me. So, a little bit of turkey, a little bit of hard cheese, celery with peanut butter, tuna and lettuce, that type of thing. So I'm curious with the rest of you guys, how many of you love to explore food options, and how do you do that? Or are you guys creatures of habit as well, and are you sticking with what you know works for you? Like even drinking, I hear a lot of people in their videos talk about how they went out and had a drink and that type of thing, and that's great if you can incorporate that, and maybe even don't mind gaining a pound or two because you might if you drink. I haven't really incorporated drinking again, just because, first of all, I don't really crave it, and I just want to continue, losing. And again, losing so slow, I know that will slow my process even more. So that's why I don't do it. But I'm just curious how others incorporate new foods. I'm not a cook either, which is an issue because I'm sure if you're a cook, hello VSG, I believe, has made cooking videos, and I think it's so great. I wish I had that skill in me, and actually after I retire here, that's kind of one of my goals, is to take a cooking class, just to maybe a healthy cooking class, to just be able to expand, the menu that I can eat and feel good about it. So anyway, if you guys have any tips on expanding what you eat, or is it okay to be a creature of habit and to do what you like, and then maybe on occasion have the pot stickers, or go outside of your comfort zone. Maybe that's something I can let go of and do a little bit more, is go outside of my comfort zone. But at the same time, I, really want to stay on track and continue to lose some weight. So anyway, I think that's what I have for you guys this week. Thank you to my new subscribers. I'm sure that was because of Monica, her shout out, and so I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys and what you have to offer. I'm going to try to catch up on my videos, and just know that you all are inspiration to me, and I am so grateful to be in this community. I'm so grateful for this journey, and I just wish you all the best week, and stay on track. We'll do this. Thanks, guys. Bye.